cinematic journey. Here at Blaster Video, over 3,865 movies in my store, all on VHS. Welcome to Blaster Video for all your rental needs.
I'm not a customer. Do you know what movie this is?
Legend has it, the dreaded video nomicon haunting those who watch it. It's been lost for decades. This is that same cursed tape.
Should we check it out?
Oh no. We're safe.
What is Gaster gonna do? Is he just gonna smash in here and then murder us in this outhouse?
This franchise has a ton of creative kills, including an outhouse.
Yeah. Even if we die, taking it with us.
No. The goal here is to stay alive.
Yeah, okay. Just experienced the power of cinema.
There we go. And here are the writers and directors of this masterpiece, if they don't mind me calling it that. Tim and Cody.
I don't know.
So, masterpiece. Very few films have got my attention these days, so you've done well. So, welcome.
Thanks for having us.
The only question I have to start with is, do you even remember the video stores? Look at the young lads that you are.
We do. We probably appear a little bit younger than we are, honestly. Slightly.
The healthy Canadian living.
Yeah. Well, a steady diet of VHS. That's what keeps you youthful. Yeah, definitely. I mean, like we grew up in the same neighborhood, really. Like Cody and I we grew up pretty close to each other, and there was a few like independent, like, well, I guess like Canadian franchise video stores, like Video Update and what is that movie?
Oh, the movie studio.
Movie studio, yeah, was really big, and then I mean that kind of like faded a little bit after we had graduated from high school and kind of drifted into obscurity a little bit until we discovered Kevin's actual video store, which is still open to this day in Edmonton, Alberta.
Nice.
So we caught the tail end, I think, for the VHS stuff when we've been quite young. So like for me, I remember, it's like Aliens, Jason Goes to Hell for some reason. I like renting that one a lot. Evil Dead. On VHS, Dark Crystal, and then into the DVDs shortly after that. Tim and I.
Excellent. And then you wrote and directed a film about it. Oh, well, there were two shorts. Is there first?
Well, yeah. I mean, there's actually a whole collection of shorts that we made. There's the last video store short film, which would have been 2013, and then there was the video store commercial, which was right before this. But there was a bunch of little projects in between that, like Tim mentioned earlier, when we discovered Kevin's Real Video Store, and they were putting on like a local festival. We kind of just gravitated towards the video store, and then we ended up. It was kind of our film school as well, because we just were making these shorts and learning and kind of creating a little community around it and having fun, just coming up with silly ideas.
Yeah, it makes it easy to write the ideas, or we're kind of like coming up with ideas, and Kevin's just like, oh yeah, there's like a part like that in this movie, and this is like, most of it's totally unwatchable, but there's like 30 amazing seconds that you guys will just absolutely love. And then you got to sit and watch the whole movie, because it's you can't just watch the part.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. Sometimes
that was the magic with the video stores, right? Is you rented those movies, you sat through them no matter what, right? Or you don't really do that today.
Definitely, because we only have well, back then we had 4 or 5 TV channels, so if you had a video, then that was it. That's the only thing you're watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might watch it twice or 3 times.
Get your money's worth.
Yeah.
I got some links in the chat. So there's to watch it on Prime. I don't know, and then there's Arrow Films. So yeah, came out on Arrow Films. That's the slipcover. You get the Blu-ray with the reversible cover with the same thing. You get poster and a little booklet and everything about the film, which is very nice.
Support that physical media.
There's a lot of people in the chat that would agree with you there. So Josh is here. He said, Josh, I'll just say hello to a few people. Sean's here. And so, yeah. I just had dinner wondering if I need to watch this film before hearing the interview in case of major spoilers. We're not going to go through major spoilers. We might mention.
I'll try not to. I'm
just
pretty
like call us out. Yeah, just be like, stop, guys, and then we'll just because we're pretty. I mean, I might be notorious for spoiling something.
Hello.
Everyone's got such great avatars. That's like.
Well, we've got Rob's Vintage Video. He's also a Canadian. Because he noticed you were from the West Coast.
Yeah. I mean, the video stores in Edmonton, Alberta, which we were from, and we're out in Vancouver now, Timberline. But
Ian says it looks pretty rad. It's very good. This is why I watched it twice already. I haven't checked out the extras yet, but I got to get through all that lot. Larry, our dad, he's definitely going to check it out. Byron's here, hello, and Josh is going to pick up a copy. So excellent start.
Right. I appreciate that.
So yes, Blast of the Video is based on the Lobby Video Store in Edmonton, Alberta.
Yep.
Yeah. He's a little basement. He's quite literally the real video store was under a daycare, so it had the vibes were really funny because you'd be there during the day and then you hear like these footsteps. Yeah, and you're like, oh, it's just the kids are running around. You're like, oh, you're kind of added to the weird. You're entering the stairs and going into this like dimly lit video store, and Kevin's such a character. So we tried to capture that in the movie when the main character goes into the video store beginning as well. It was very much just coming from us and experiencing that in the real video store. Why there's no like windows or anything in it.
Excellent. Because it's all dark and very colorful, which is lovely. Because mine was my real video shop I used to go to was a converted house. It had a very big window at the front and a doorway, and then just a basic room that you could walk around and go out. But that's a lot nicer.
That's cool. That sounds cool. A converted house.
Yeah. Well, a lot of businesses, I should say, in Britain are just converted houses. So then one minute they're a house, then they convert it to a shop, and then it's back to a house, and which it is now. The video shop is now, unfortunately.
Oh.
But,
they don't really do that a lot here at all.
Yeah, because I guess you had strip malls and such like that in Canada and America, do you?
Mm-hmm.
So that units for businesses. Yes, when I heard strip mall for the first time, I thought it was something else, but it's not.
Well, sometimes you can find those in strip malls, but although I wouldn't necessarily recommend those venues.
Right. I got a lot of notes here that I'm going to try and get through. So the fake titles, the VHS. So your art department, who was that?
Well, I did a lot of them. I was the production designer on the movie as well. Because with this kind of like low budget independent films, you really do have to like wear as many hats as physically possible. So I kind of had help with a friend, the person that made all the spines on. I think there is literally 3,600 84 or whatever that number is. Like that's how many like spines there actually are in the movie. So we all came up with a lot of the titles. Some of them were from our previous shorts or like just jokes, you know, when we're all sitting around the house or just hanging out, joking about like crazy movie ideas. We would come up with, you know, like just wild plot lines. One like example Cody came up with the Taekwondo Dad. You know, like that's actually like an inside joke about our producer, Greg Jeffs, who's like been instrumental in getting us this far. And, you know, he was so busy with the movie and his whole family was like taking Taekwondo classes, all of his like 3 kids. And so it was just like, we just came up with them kind of organically. And then, you know, Cody did a lot of great poster work for some of the major titles that we see. And then it just kind of stemmed from the years that we've been just hanging around in video stores, and you know that the spines and the covers are like really what you're after the most. You know, it has less to do with like what's actually the movie's actually about than how like great a title and like awesome cover can be.
Well, true. So that means I won't be seeing Gremloids anytime soon. Then.
No, I mean yeah. Yeah, there's some cool. Yeah, that one. I wish we could make that one. Yeah, we came up with this synopsis. Like, I remember that. I mean, it's Gremlins in space. So, yeah. Or I mean, our version of Gremlins in space.
Sold. But yes, Josh will pay money to see Taekwondo Dad if you ever get around to making it.
That's that one. That's like the poster in the film. Once we get to the bedroom, there's a big poster in the back, and it's for Taekwondo Dad 4. Because we figured we'd jump straight to. We did make like synopsises for 1, 2, 3, and 4, where usually the first one starts out pretty generally like it's a kind of a standard plot, but by the 4th one, it's, you know, like the 3 ninjas when we get to Hulk Hogan and they're in the amusement park. Oh, yeah. It's you know, we're kind of pushing it really crazy. So we're Taekwondo Dad 4.
Nice.
Big poster.
Because you had other real films as well: Psycho Gorman, Subspecies, Miami Connection, Puppet Master, stuff. All your favorites, I guess. Because there's a link to Psycho Gorman as well, isn't there?
Yeah. So I mean, some of that we just needed to fill. We needed because we couldn't make a lot, so we were trying to get permission to use posters for certain properties. Charles Band actually, we just kind of emailed and we're like, hey. Or the producer just reached out like, can we use the posters? Can we just like, and they were kind enough to let us. Oh, my camera's going in and out. Sorry, guys. And then with Psycho Gorman Steve, we've known him for quite a while because he's a Canadian filmmaker. Back in the day, there was a connection with a local film festival in Edmonton. They brought their film Father's Day to Edmonton. Kevin, who was actually in the video store, was co-running a local film festival that did that screening. So we had a chance to meet them. We made like a short film because we wanted to like, these guys are like, we like their work a lot. And then they thought it was cool. So we kind of just made the connection back then. And we've kind of, he did something called BioCop, like a fake trailer called BioCop. And we shot a few scenes, like a few clips in it. And we've always kind of gone back and forth over the course of time. Done some VFX work from him and he's done some help on ours. So we, featured the poster and a bunch of the other Astron guys are in it as well. So
nice.
My long explanation.
Well, yes, features cameos from Canadian genre directing talents, including RKSS, Astron 6, Lowell Dean, Jeremy Gardner, and etc. It says in my trivia list, but is that true?
Yeah, that's all true. Yeah, and it's just, I guess, fellow Canadian filmmakers definitely understand the like struggle of, you know, trying to get your movie made and you know, like, and to have all of them who have been supportive throughout our shorts and you know, like the career so far, like to have them kind of like just offer to help us. Like I know Lowell does like the newscast guy from the slasher film, and he just so happened to be shooting a Dark Match which just came out recently in Edmonton at the time, and was kind enough to stop by the video store and jump on a green screen and throw in a cameo. So that was really amazing to have so many like talented people kind of close to the project and who also have been to the video store and love that place just as much as we do.
Nice. Because getting back to something I saw in the film, the desk made of tapes. Whose art project was that?
Well, that was born out of the straight to video web series when we were shooting like the intro, which kind of like the reverse to this movie, where he gets sucked into the movies instead of them getting sucked out. The desk came about, I think it was like Cody and Richard, a dude that we used to work with very closely in Edmonton. They designed that and put it together, and then Sam and Richard kind of like spent like 2 nights gluing all those tapes together, and so we wanted to bring that back and had the art team on the feature kind of bring that to reality. And the one that we built for the previous short, like, I mean, it has fallen apart, and like it's still like Kevin keeps it as like his desk. We just kind of like shelled his actual desk in the video store with it, but it's like it's in really bad shape. Every time I visit, he makes me fix part of it because it's just exploding. not built to last, that's for sure.
No,
like hot glue and stuff.
I did the same. I made one. It's like it was this cube. I made a cube one, so it's only about 12 tapes on each side, and then it lasted a week, and then it just went.
yeah.
We at one point we also we broke his desk like in the actual video store, and in one of the shorts Josh flies through the desk. We put a spare desk there, but I think that was also to pay a little bit of repayment for trashing his place all the time too.
Cool. We'll just have a quick ad break for the Blaster video so we can have a look at the store. Here we go.
Are you ready to blast off on your cinematic journey here at Blaster Video? Well, let's go. And with over 3,865 movies in my store, we got all the categories covered, from horror, sci-fi, fantasy, action, even comedy, all on VHS. First-time customers get 1 free rental. Well, the snake is out of the bag, and Fury of the Viper is now on sale at the video store. And for a limited time only, while supplies last, you get a free fridge magnet. So come on down to Blaster Video. We're located in the back alley of 10815 Unita Avenue. And always remember, be kind and rewind.
There we go. Now, where do I get that T-shirt or shirt he's wearing?
Oh well, I have one, and I think he's got the other. That's those are the only 2 that survived the movie.
Actually, that was we wanted to make a cool T-shirt, and I took a VHS silhouette art and found a company online that printed fabric and actually just ordered a bunch of fabric with that color scheme and had a friend put them together. This was actually for our first attempt at making kind of a feature on this. We actually made these shirts way back then, and they've survived since then. So naturally, when this came up, we're just like, we need this. Same shirt. So.
Oh, nice. I'll have to make my own then, by the sound of it.
Maybe you're onto something. Maybe we need to.
Well, that is stunning. Yeah,
plenty of us sell those online or something.
So going back. There's a question for you: favorite and worst VHS box art that you've ever seen? That's a trick question.
Man. That is,
That's just random ones that you can think of. That because back in the 80s they were better than the Halloween 6. No, H2O. That is just faces.
The floating head era. Those, I mean, that's definitely like the worst of the worst. I would say that, like, I'd say the best of the floating head was probably the Face Off VHS
Yeah,
cover,
we
because
did
it
try that.
was just the floating heads, but it was, still kind of cool because you didn't get a lot of like fully blacked out cases.
Yeah.
So I think what the worst is, but now I kind of like how it looks. There's a movie called Laser Mission with Brandon Lee.
Yes, Brandon.
And so
Lee,
like,
yes,
the cover of it, I actually
on-
have the VHS tape here. But I mean, it's just like it's like a whatever. It totally is not appealing if you looked at it back then. But now it's kind of cool because it's retro. So I would say I'm split in the middle on that one. Favorite's a tricky question though. That's like, I feel like Puppet Master has always been seared in my brain when I was younger. I always wanted to rent Puppet Master because of the cover, and I feel like that one doesn't disappoint from cover to movie. I mean, the first one, a couple slow bits in the first one, but like the puppets were always freaky back in the day. So
yeah, I guess I'm trying to think. The Video Dead is probably the biggest disappointment.
That's like the coolest cover in the movie. It's fun.
It's fun.
It's fun, yeah. It's not too long. But yeah, I think my always favorite has always been the Fright one.
Oh yeah, that's a beautiful piece. Yeah, I love that one.
Although the Creep Show one's up there is not bad. But you can't really make out the small screen I'm on. Oh yeah. Creep Show 2, sorry. Some artwork went into that. Right. So, oh yes, Demon Wind. That's another good one.
Like From Beyond, that has a pretty cool, like
yes,
where the face is like getting stretched out. But that's always really cool.
Was there ever a time you thought we'll release this on VHS because like someone's bought out? They're doing like stuff like They Live on specials and stuff like that. But
yeah, I mean, so there's a Canadian version of the Blu-ray that's coming out in the spring. And they had like a special edition where they have like a VHS release of it that's coming with it. So maybe after that maybe there'll be like a wider, just buy the VHS on itself, because that'd be cool. Definitely down for that.
Now, what's the address for Beaver Lake? Because it sounds like somewhere I'd like to vacation.
Range Road 641. On the 53rd parallel in Manitoba, Canada. Nice. So basically right in the center of Canada.
It was a bit of a reverse for us though, because we named it that, and then we're like, "Oh, we should check if there's a real place." And they're like, "Oh, there's a real place in Canada." It's in Manitoba.
Yeah, the clearance got us. Yeah, we had to when we called them the Beaver Lake tail slappers. We had to get clearance for the name because there actually is like a Beaver Lake hockey team.
Oh right.
But then naturally we were able to incorporate a joke about Manitoba, and it all worked out. It's a very like Canadian sort of. That's a fun one to watch.
Even some Canadians might be troubled to like point out where Manitoba starts and stops on a map. To be honest with you, but.
Okay. Getting into trouble. All the Canadians are into that. We've got Frightfully Forgotten Horror.
Oh, nice. Look for Beaver Lake, Range Road, something.
171.
If we were ever to be able to make a Beaver Lake movie, we'd want to go and do Manitoba for sure.
Is that what's it like in the summer? Is it good enough for skinny dipping for
Manitoba?
Yeah. Or Beaver Lake or
like,
that area.
Yeah. In the winter, like I mean, most of Canada in the winter is not. I mean, some people still do it though. Like in Vancouver in the winter, some people will swim in the ocean. It's kind of maddening, but
yeah. Okay. Slash Home Video, also a video fanatic. I love the last video store, and he's a tough customer. So yes.
Wow, thank you.
Cool. Appreciate it.
We made it for you, tough customers. Yeah.
You did indeed. So we're all thankful that the format wars, we survived all that as well. So that's that was difficult.
Still raging.
Well, I've got a lot of betas here, but I can't watch them.
Yeah.
Yes, there's those people that think they're better than the VHS, isn't there? Oh, there you go. You can skinny dip in the summer and get a nice sunburn on your.
Yeah.
So yes, In the UK, it's on Prime. I don't know. Is it on others in around the world?
It's in the US. It's on the Arrow streaming service. So
of
Arrow
course,
has the streaming
makes
service,
sense.
but the Arrow, I imagine, is on the UK and
Yeah, so
on the
the
US.
Amazon.
Canada, not quite yet, but
All right.
hopefully in the summer there will be. But we yeah.
Cool. Now, there is another film called The Last Video Store, and it was made in 2023. I guess there's probably crossovers between the two films because someone says, "I'll watch this romantic comedy set in the video store," and then all hell breaks loose.
Zero crossovers.
Yeah.
Just happenstance, and we were kind of like, well, I mean, we used it in 2013, so I mean, we were here. I mean, it's not like it's a super original name, so
Yeah, exactly.
if you're looking for like the non-romantic comedy, if you're looking for our movie and you watch the romantic comedy, then
Yeah. Ours has love in it, but it's not for people.
It's friendship love, isn't it? Platonic.
Yeah, exactly.
it would be interesting though to get a little like we were ever able to chat with those guys, just because I'm sure they had the same reaction with
Yeah, that's probably people have a good go at them. This is a horror film. There's no romance in this.
Yeah. Grandma's just like, I watched your movie, but that when the dude got his face ripped off, I wasn't sure if anybody was gonna fall in love.
But yes, the effects were excellent. So, how did you do all this? Like the snake effect, I was trying to, and even the bad CGI mantis or alien thing, all looked great.
Well, that there. So the movie, when we shot the movie, it was we had a really tight 2-week schedule, and then after we had like almost a year, and that's where that took that long. There was about 3 of us, myself, a good friend of ours who again kind of worked on projects in the past. He's a talented filmmaker himself, and he picked up the hard stuff like the Prey Stalker. He's a talented CGI artist to do that, and we had some fake ceilings and some other shots so I think there's both on the spectrum, the shots that you might not even realize that were CGI, and some that were, and it's not like it just came down to like budget and time. Like we had to rip the set apart. We would have loved to be able to shoot some things practical that should never be like a fake shot, but we were in a situation where it's like we have no ceiling, like we need a ceiling, we need to do this in post somehow. So just a small team of us that had to pick up those skills just out of necessity to finish it essentially, and just putting our blood, sweat, and tears into it to try to as best as possible. So
yeah, I guess. Well, it worked for Top Gun Maverick, delaying it a year. They had time to work on it, so same for you, I guess.
Yeah, sort of. It was like zero money though. But it's we feel blessed that our good friend was able to help with that, and then when we shot for a year, like my living room had a green screen, and almost every weekend, like Tim would be like, "Hey, what are we shooting this weekend?" Because we had to get random elements. Like there's the fake scene with the goalie getting killed by the Zamboni. You see a quick clip of that.
Oh yeah.
Tim is the goalie there in pads, and he's pretending to go backwards, and that's all just green screen. But with all those fake movie scenes, I ran them through like a real VHS player after, because I wanted to be like an authentic look. So I've got like a CRT TV and a VHS player and some like cool devices that kind of warp it to kind of re-record it, like videotape the screen and then comp it back on, just to get like an authentic. We don't want to use like a VHS filter that.
Well, I was gonna say that doesn't look like filters. It looks real. So yes, well done.
Sweet.
Now, are bare feet an issue in Canadian video shops? Because I've never known anyone be barefoot in mine.
No, that was actually Kevin and I found that sign at the like strangest little shop where, in Toronto, where we were shooting in Toronto, Ontario. We just found this like quirky little shop where we bought a lot of the racks. And they just had all these different like weird signs, and we seen that, and we started making a joke about Tarantino because we thought that like if Tarantino could see this movie, he'd see that and turn it off. But so that just kind of we had to have it, and when it went up behind the shop, we just like really felt like it belonged there. And I think Kevin took it for his actual shop because he's like I don't want bare feet in my shop for real though.
Yeah.
And it's a little piece of like almost environmental storytelling. I imagine people, if they're watching it, they're just like, oh, there must have been a weird situation that happened in Kevin's store somewhere. This character's past, we can pull from that. So.
Yeah. No shirt, no shoes, no shorts or something, isn't it? Yeah, the other one.
Yeah.
Now, using the bolero for the ending, was it just because? Is that just because it was free, or is that there's a reason for it?
No, I mean there's definitely a reason because it's kind of like it's a song that's used in like sometimes it's like a romanticized song where you get that kind of never-ending low drum. And some of the scenes in other films that use it it's kind of like these big, it feels like big romantic feelings, and we just really felt that Kevin just gushing over the films, it felt like it worked really well on that scene, and I'm like a huge fan of that song as well, just for those. So it was a combination of us kind of getting to a point where we're like, okay, well maybe every time he talks about movies, we're going to use bolero because he's in love with films, and like again, it's always used in that aspect. So that was our way of kind of trying to twist the use of that song about this guy in the basement in a bunch of movies. But and we tried to kind of
the Bo Derek film Bolero.
The which?
The Bo Derek film Bolero.
No.
Probably for the best.
I don't know.
It's terrible. So yes, who designed the cursed tape? Because it looks lovely.
That was like a combo where Tim would come up with the drawing. Tim would be kind of like the concept artist and come up with drawings. And then I take like what his drawing, and I taught myself how to use ZBrush, like the 3D sculpting, specifically for that, and just got. You could buy a pack of brushes that were inspired by like Giger and a bunch of things like that. So we just made a bunch of iterations to try to come up with a cool look of it, and then took this design and then 3D printed it actually.
Right.
Again, we didn't have like a big prop team or a lot of time, so Tim and I just kind of had to, leading up to the shoot, like I bought a 3D printer, and we're like, okay, we got to make a bunch of these props between us before we get there because we're not going to have time, including Caster's mask was also something where we drew a design based on an old character we had and updating it. And then I took that, we got like a 3D model created of that, and then printed it in 4 pieces and epoxied together and painted it. So it was kind of just things that we used to do in the past when we were just making shorts and had no resources and kind of had to try to learn a few of these things to make it happen. So glad you guys did the tape, because we see it so much. We're like, oh, I don't know, like is it stupid? Is it not? I don't know. Like,
well, yeah, because it's not flat on the top, is it? It's like ridged and
the
colors, and it lights up. And
it was very difficult to fit inside the VCRs. We had to print like a smaller version of it just so it could like slide in and stuff. Like it was a huge hassle.
That's the one thing you're like, okay, we spent all this time making this cool tape, and then like the day of shooting, it's like, what, like doesn't fit? Like, oh shit. So we can only shoot from like above and kind of try to pretend to get it in there, like Tim said, like a squished version of it.
And our prop master, Dominic Arnold, she was just so fast at solving our F-ups. Like it was just like every time Cody and I were like, hey, we made something. It was just like, yeah, okay, well, like, give me a minute. And it's just like, yeah, we did it. Amazing. Yeah, that's why it's these kinds of movies can only get made when you have so many like talented people around that are also like that all some of them were pretty young, but they all had like an idea of the video store and like what was great about it. And I think that like that commitment to the video store itself definitely helped our movie like not kind of, as a lot of independent film can kind of like cut corners and not really have the time to have interesting or like fun characters, that we were kind of afforded the time to kind of live in the video store a little bit more because we just had such a talented team that helped bring this movie to life.
Well, thank them, because the film looks lovely, like I said, and compared to like other like straight to video actioners, like the ones that Bruce Willis used to do for like his paychecks, and they just looked like they were shot on digital and it was just a paycheck.
Yeah.
So this film looks like a proper film, and all the different colors and the textures and the filters, well, not the filters, but the look of the TV and the VHS looks amazing.
Appreciate it. Yeah, we definitely were. It was the one thing I think for Tim and I. It was it felt like, okay, this may be the only movie we make. Then everything's got to go into it, and we gotta. I mean, we obviously don't want it to be the only movie we make, but that's how we approach it, right? It's like, and just like the history we had with Kevin, it was just we needed to as much as we could, and you still feel at the end, you're like, oh fuck, we fucked up, but you're like, okay, well, at least we put the effort in. Hopefully, people can see that we just like we loved everything about what we were doing. So
yeah, Bojan just saw the trailer. Looked so comfy and brain dead type gore.
Yeah, Brain Dead was. I think Brain Dead was actually one of the movies that Cody and I like really bonded on. Another great VHS cover, actually. Both versions of the Australian and the
like the
Legion 1 release. But that was a movie that like Cody and I really connected on, and like Bad Taste and like Peter Jackson and like the physical media, the special features of Lord of the Rings when that came out. Like Cody and I were just like in high school, so it was like, this is how movies are made. Like this is how we got to do this. And Brain Dead, to be compared, I guess, even remotely to that is very flattering. So yes, very similar in the like gore moments and just like the comedy of the people in the movie. So
yeah, definitely Peter Jackson kind of horror comedy.
Yeah, because what was it? Brain Dead. The other one, Bad Taste, took 3 or was it 5 years to make? It was just made on weekends. And his mates whenever they were available, and crazy. And now, making a Lord of the Rings trilogy twice.
Yeah, very exciting. Here, I got this. It's actually just on my bookshelf here.
He's showing off already.
It's a making of book that is
nice. Yeah, there's the picture. The aliens. Yes. Ian says it definitely looks like it was made with lots of love and the medium and the era, which it is. Yes, definitely check it out. So then, you went round the what are they called? Film festivals. How was that for you? Was that fun or was it daunting?
Both. I think the first one it was fun. It was a lot of anticipation. It's our first feature. We had a chance to go to film festivals with some short films, but I think. I think it took a few screenings after to really kind of feel comfortable in the moment, and you're just hoping people laugh at the part you want them to laugh at, and
I'd say opening night at Fantastic Fest when we first premiered it, like the world premiere, like that was like a out of body experience for me. Like somebody else experienced that night, and I just heard about it the next day. Like it was pretty tough. And that point, it was still pretty in like a kind of like a rough state. Like it wasn't the finished version that we have on the like beautiful Arrow releases and the Black Fawn releases that just needed like a little bit more time. That sometimes you just don't get it, and that's not uncommon in festivals with our like genre films. But it was still like watching the audience kind of grimace at the like unfinished moment, and then you're just kind of right there with them, like Cody said, like by like the third or fourth screening and like the next festival, you like you get a chance to be proud of it and like watch it with like the enjoyment that everybody else gets too. So, and I mean, I love the festival scenes and like the people you get to meet, and we got to meet Chris Nash and like Vincenzo Natali, like all these like Canadian filmmakers, and that kind of stuff really like helps move forward and is so important for filmmakers. Like next steps is to be able to like talk to industry leaders and people like that in the bar, or like at the breakfast lunch line, like that's kind of like the enjoyment, I guess, out of like making a feature and getting it into the festivals. And some of the guys got to fly out to the UK and in Sheffield and got to see that, and we've kind of been all over the place, and it's pretty amazing to like share your dreams with other people like across the planet, while you're doing karaoke.
Yeah, and I think just the idea of spending a weekend just watching movies, just hanging out with people watching movies, everyone's having a great time. Like, I feel like it's that's where you do that, and everyone's there and they want to be like entertained, and it's fun, that aspect of it.
Exactly. So, how did it get an Arrow release?
I mean, we still don't really know. I mean, we have like Blue Finch was the sales team on our end, and they came in really early. Like even before the movie was made, they saw our like concept trailer and some of the shorts, and we were trying to pitch to get funding, and they were like, "Hey, we like somebody, Mike from that company, like really believed in it and was like, we'll help you. We're gonna, if it helps you get funding and stuff." They're attaching onto the project to help sell it after. And then some point after we finished it and during the festivals, as we were just kind of waiting to see like what the release was going to be, they're like, yeah, so Arrow's going to release it on physical media. And we're just like, okay, maybe that's the best thing that could happen.
Yeah.
Can you approve these like artist rendered posters? And it's just like we get our own like VHS cover poster, like
very much
drawn, and it's just a beautiful thing.
So it would be a dream. It was a dream come true for Tim and I, for sure, to get like a physical release on Arrow.
Yeah.
Like I got like 30 Arrow discs already back there, so just kind of being a part of that library and just it was the best.
Yeah. Indeed.
We're still feeling a little bit like imposter syndrome over the whole thing, but.
Right.
It's very much good. Good place for it. So the magnetic advertising thing, was that ever a real thing, or is that like someone actually did do it for real and wipe their tapes by sending a free magnet without them?
Oh no, I don't think. I mean, to be a little bit pitchy about it, like the magnets, like the fridge magnets wouldn't be powerful enough to do it. You could probably like distort it a little bit, but like you'd have to like get it right on the magnetic tape itself. But like it just like that concept was always just like really funny to me, that like the contrast of like like here's some physical media and like we want to preserve this, and it's just like a fridge magnet can literally like delete this, so it's just like like Kevin's got to be so strict about it. And when we were looking to the end of the movie, it was just like, what is the most fitting end to the video store? And it's just like, oh, it has to be like erased. Like, and by something like mundane, like a fridge magnet or something like that, like to me, that just made the most sense, because it's like video stores didn't, go down in a blaze of glory in the format wars. They just kind of had to like quietly vanish, or, like just kind of quietly fade. And we thought that the fridge magnet was the way to go. And then we had a bunch of them printed, and we given them out with the DVDs and Blu-rays that are sold in Kevin's actual store. And all my family have like, I think there's like 6 on my fridge right now, like that I can see. Like we just have so many extras.
No, there's just like a funny thing that we also imagine, that if Kevin had a little bit of like marketing money for his video store, he'd be like, fridge magnets. Like that's the way to market the video store, because you always get those obscure companies like if you get the plumber on a fridge magnet or something as well. So it was like a nice little cap to what Tim said, was just like, yeah, of course Kevin's character would get a fridge magnet, like spend all the money on fridge magnets and totally ruin the taste.
Yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise you if someone had done it for real. But Rob's sounds like a dream. Congrats. That's getting the Arrow release, and he wants a Canadian release with the VHS. So
yeah, well, look to keep your eyes on Black Fawn distributors in Canada. They'll be announcing it very, very soon. They got a they call it the Blacklist. So it's getting like a special version release with the VHS and like a little caster toy.
Nice.
So keep your eyes on that website.
That's actually, it's already on the website. They might have sold out of that unless they're doing a second run, but you can see it on the VHS, and hopefully they'll sell it separately. But yeah, definitely Black Fawn.
Nice. Let's have a look. The synth score. I've never discussed the synth score, which is amazing. Like normally they put these things in, and well, we watched Abraxas the other night. I don't know if you know that, with Jesse Ventura, and it's jazz, soft jazz.
That has a cool VHS cover. That has a really cool VHS cover.
And then, they spent all the money on that.
Definitely.
But
that synth score was done by our good friend Brandon Boucher, who's been a part of our collective in Edmonton when we were coming up making shorts. He's a very talented filmmaker in his own right, and videographer. Like, he shot most of our shorts and some second unit stuff for the feature. And we had kind of shopped around to a few different musicians and kind of sampled some of the stuff. And having worked with a few of them, we just felt like we weren't really getting it quite right. And Brandon was just like, I've been watching the dailies that you guys send and like editing the stuff that I've been shooting. And I just I made a little, I made a little piece and we watched it. And, maybe it was because he's been a part of this for so long and that he's been in the mix, and he knows Kevin so well. Like, he just understood exactly what we were looking for, and just did such an amazing job producing all of those songs. And he's not exactly like another person. He just sat down and kind of learned some of these skills, especially when it came to mastering the music and making it soundtrack worthy. And I had the chance to sit down with him for a week. I flew out to Edmonton and to finish the film, and that was some of the most fun that we had, just seeing how elevated the movie became with such a powerful soundtrack, and we had some really great temporary tracks. But when you realize every song kind of costs about $8,000. If anybody's ever heard of it, it is an $8,000 bill just to license at bare minimum. So it was just what are we going to do? And, he really stepped in and just elevated the movie to everything that it needed to be, even kind of playing on that parody or that kind of B movie version of some more famous songs that were the inspiration to some of the tracks that he made. And he really even embodied the understanding that we were making, not necessarily a parody, but a B movie version.
And it's kind of, he's like you can say, such a good friend. So it's kind of friends getting together to make something. And he was, he wasn't there. He was given a really short amount of time, and he had to blast through all these tracks, and he had so much passion for the project and history. So it was kind of someone else might not have wanted to take the amount of time and detail. So it's just friends getting together to make something cool.
Sure. Well, yeah, because normally you think, oh, it's a retro film. Oh, they're doing a synth soundtrack again, and it just goes over your head. But this, straight from the opening titles, it's right there and all the way through.
Which is it's on Spotify actually now. Because he was
I was just going to ask.
He made sure he wanted to I want to get my thing on Spotify, and He's even printed he's printing vinyls right now. Got some art. So he had to go back and remaster everything for the vinyl, but he's so passionate about that stuff. So he's actually the one who's just trying to make all this happen. And we're like, sweet man, absolutely.
I have to look that vinyl up, but yeah, shipping costs would probably be.
Yeah. He's doing a little limited run, but yeah, if we
nice.
can.
Well, yeah, I'll have a look because it'd probably just be a splintered thing when I get it back delivered here. But yeah. Hallowfield's here, a bit late, but he's gonna be kind of rewind and love this movie and ordered the Blackthorn back this morning.
Hey, all right, yeah, enjoy that one.
That's a cool one, yeah.
That one's got our commentary on it. Where the Arrow one didn't. The Arrow one doesn't have the director's commentary on it. Well, it's the directors and the cast. We recorded live in the actual video store, so that's pretty fun.
Nice.
Bit that we kind of do a little intro in the video store, so you get to see the actual store itself.
Yeah, we just didn't make the deadline for the Arrow disc, and then we were able to.
Yeah, makes sense. I think I'm coming up. So yeah, it takes multiple watches to pick things up that are in the background because most of the time you're concentrating in the foreground and you're missing a lot of stuff around the shop. A lot of love, like the gumball machine. They didn't have stuff like that in my store, but yeah, I'm guessing that was a thing for you, guys.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, definitely in Canadian and American style. There's always the get the free video or get the free rental gumball in the machine is as if kids needed more excuses to gamble. Yeah.
I think it was because it was kind of a Blockbuster thing as well. It was right by the counter, so it's you're going through quarters to try to get the free rental gumball.
Nice. I never knew those things existed till I watched this. So yeah, it's a nice touch. Rob's already shopping, so he's got the mega pack. Right? He's ordered the mega pack.
Thank you, Rob.
Here. Greg, he's
let us know how you enjoyed it, if you enjoyed it or not. If you enjoyed it last time as well.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Everyone's shopping at the moment. Yeah. Hallowfield's got the. It's sick. I think the kids these days. It's got the blaster video card and everything.
Yeah.
Excellent. Amazing.
And there's a few different special features on that disc as well. We wanted to have, there's some really slick. The Arrow has some amazing the essayist features and videos on special video essays on it. And then we had there's a few different. Black Fawn doesn't have those, but they have just a couple different ones to make up for it.
So yeah, I think the only thing I've got now is the trippy effects that kick off. But I did want to mention who was the basis of Viper. Was the amalgamation of lots of people from them days?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's definitely inspired by he's definitely inspired by the actor Josh who plays it, who's our best friend and who's been with us since high school. He's been the star of our movies. But the character Viper himself really came to life with the help of Josh. We just powered through as many action movies as we could stomach and kind of settled on he's got a little bit of the Michael Dudikoff, almost there, but never quite made the waves. A little bit of Steven Seagal, particularly Hard Target, because it was just he was just fully out of control by then. And you just read the behind the scenes stories and the horror stories of just kind of how abrasive he was to be around. So that was for the character Viper, I was just imagine if that was the action hero. He thinks he's the good guy, he thinks he's doing the right thing, but if you were in the room with him, you would be pretty nervous. You'd be this guy he'd fly off the handle at any moment. He could.
There's definitely a little dash of Cobra, obviously.
Yes, the Cobra jacket. But he's called Viper, yeah.
That was definitely a little bit of a fun thing towards that. And then, we're all huge fans of Jean-Claude Van Damme, so there's probably a little bit of Van Damme in there.
Well, that's just the Josh part.
That's the Josh part.
Van Damme so much,
But yeah, there's
always a blood sport thing and try to do. So when he is smacking the TV. That's his Kumite Bloodsport shout out.
Yeah, because he's doing the splits at one point, but I'm guessing that was trickery on your parts rather than a photo.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
Very much so.
We're in our 30s, you know. Maybe when we were in our 20s, if we had shot this movie, Josh could have done the splits, but we needed him for other things, other B-rolls. So
Yeah, do the last thing you shoot. So yeah, Josh is trying to figure out how much shipping is to get the mega pack to the UK now. So everyone's shopping for the film at the moment, and
yeah, that's
exactly
cool.
what I'd hope for. But I think we are done. I think anything on the horizon?
Well, lots of meetings coming up for, projects that we got on our next, a little bit of learning to do about the financial side of things now that, we have one in the bag and budgets increase. So there's a little bit of a learning curve for that. And, we're just excited to have our projects done. And I know Cody's busy right now, but I don't know if he can say anything.
Yeah, I mean, I'm helping. I'm doing like I said, there's some stuff that we're trying to do, with our own projects. But I'm doing some visual effects work on Steve's Psycho Gorman, one of his new projects that's coming out. I mean, that's all I can really say. But I'm the VFX supervisor somehow on that, which is pretty sweet. But yeah, we're definitely gonna make that stuff pretty rad, and so that's what I'm on right now. But yeah,
cool. Nice.
I mean, we have ideas for if the video short can somehow continue. But
yes.
Yeah, there was some Canadian streaming interest in extending the film into a series, but we'll see how those deals go. Sometimes that takes a little while, and they'll want to see all the return numbers on the DVD sales. So big shout out to chat.
Yes, everyone can start buying the film. Like I said, in the UK, you can watch it on Amazon Prime, and you can buy it at Arrow Films. Well, actually, it's on all the Zavi, HMV, all those sites for your Blu-rays. You can get the Arrow pack, or you can get it from the other places. So we've got Josh saying, "Great chat, guys! Congrats and good luck for the future."
Thanks, Josh.
Byron, really enjoyed this. Great listen, and I'll watch the film. See.
Yes, please do. Yes, hope you enjoy it. And thanks for having us on.
Well, no worries. I'd like to thank
pleasure.
Hordes for Horror for pointing at me in my direction, because she did a review. So Greg says great stuff. I'm sure he's going to watch it. He's a VHS guy, and so is Rob. Might be a subtle hint there. You need an awesome connection. I'll pass your details on there, Rob. Awesome film. Can't recommend it enough. Exactly. Nor can I. That's a perfect way to end it. So yes, thanks for everyone, and I'll see you next time. And thanks for Tim and Cody for joining me tonight.
Yeah.
To talk about the most excellent film. And I'll